So once again, welcome to our 100 days of Python programming challenge. This is day 5 and today we'll be creating an interesting to-do list. Basically, it will include of mainly 3 functions. One is going to be list view, second is going to be adding the task, and third is going to be removing the task. We don't necessarily are going to create the update task and things like that. We are not going to make it over complicated. We are just going to create a simple to-do list. View to do, add more to do, and remove the to do. That's it. And then we'll have the exit button. So it is going to be a simple to do list application, or let's just say a command line application. So without wasting our time, let's get to our coding screen and let's just start coding. All right, we'll start with creating a function. So it will be basically a function based program as we always do. So first of all, we'll be creating a function calling it the display menu. This is where we actually store all the menu stuff, like the to-do list menu, where we have the view to-do list, add a task or remove a task, or let's just say exit, for example. So we'll have basically 4 choices to select from. Basically, the first one will be view to-do list. Then there is the add a task, remove a task, and exit. That's what we'll have. Okay, that's perfect now. So first we have done with the display menu. Let's just say the numbers. Going to be exit, right? So we're done with this display menu. Now we'll be creating a view tasks. This is where all the tasks will be viewed. So if you click, let's just say 1 as your choice, then you will be executing this particular function, which will show that this is how many tasks you have on your to-do list, right? So if you don't have any kind of any kind of task on your to-do list, it will basically show you that you don't have anything. Your to-do list is empty, if not tasks, if you don't have any kind of tasks inside of it. But if you do, then it will just basically print all the tasks that you have with an ID, right? So for that, we'll just say, for example, for IDX and then task in enumerate tasks 1. That's it. Perfect. Enumerate. Is it enumerates or enumerate? I'm not sure about that. Okay, print F, then IDX and the tasks. So it will basically print the ID and the tasks. So ID is basically going to be the primary key or something like that, or index number. Simple. In simple words, it's going to be an index number like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, things like that. Okay, so we'll create now add tasks. So this will help us add more tasks onto our to-do list. So first of all, to add more tasks, you have to take the input of the task, like what particular task you want to perform. So we're going to take that, enter a new task inside of it. Once you create that, we'll basically, okay, enumerate, we're done with that. That was the mistake. It's E, N. Okay, so append, we'll basically append the task into the tasks list. Right, okay, so once we're done with that, we'll just basically say that this is the task that we have added onto your to-do list. So we just basically show a message to make it look actually a little bit more professional, little bit more organized. We're going to do that. Right, so when you're done with that, we'll just basically simply create another function which is called as the remove task, right? We have created the add task, now remove task. We're not going to create something like update task or something like that. We'll just keep it basic. So remove task. To remove the task, you basically take the number, like the index, the IDX, basically the index of that task, and then you simply just pop that off from your list. That's basically the essence of it. So it's pretty simple. You just take the number of the task that you want to remove. All right. Then we're going to check the conditions. If it is greater than or equals to 1, and then it has to be like less than the length of task. So if you have 10 tasks and you enter 11, then it will basically show you that invalid task number. Or if it's 0, it's less than 1, then also it will show invalid task number. So it has to be between 1 to the length of tasks, right? That's perfect as a logic. And then we'll basically pop the task off, right? Once we're done with that, we'll just simply print that we have removed this particular task from this particular index or the number, whatever that happens to be. Once completing that, we'll just put on an else, calling it the invalid task number if the task number is out of our given range. The length of task 1 to length of task. Then we'll also have the except value error if in case the user inputs something like ABC or any kind of things that is not an integer. In that particular case, it will just throw in value error, and it will just cover the value error and just give us a message that please enter a valid number. So it will basically not crash the program. It will just save the program from crashing by giving us an precise output, or let's just say an validation, something like that. So we'll create now the to-do list app where we'll basically combine all of the things together, basically by creating a list, calling it the task, and then we'll have a while true, which is going to be a while true is basically a loop which can be only exit, which you can only exit if you just break it from inside. Right? You can just break it from inside. So from inside, you can basically break it by either having some sort of if statement, or else, yeah, basically most of the time it's if or maybe a for. Even the for includes if. So basically all you have is mostly the if choices 90% of the times. If you want to break a while loop, while true, you need an if. Simply we'll have basically choices: if 1 then view task, if 2 then add task, 3 remove task, and 4 will be the break. That's simple as. So I think we have a slight error up here. Let's just look into it, and I think it's add tasks instead of task. That's pretty perfect. And now we have the choice 4, which is basically the goodbye break. So basically if the user inputs 4, then it will just exit the program and say goodbye. That's how it has to be. So it looks kind of good. Then we'll just print invalid choice, and then please select or let's just say invalid choice. That's pretty good. So I think we are done with that. We'll just call the function and call the main function, which is the to-do list app, and then we'll execute the function. Let's just say something like or, and the symbols are basically the representation because we used the opposite slash. Right, so you can just play around with this. You can just add task, remove task, or maybe exit, or whatever that happens to be. Just play around with it. Let's just play with this a little while. Okay, I think it's gonna work perfectly this time, and you can see there is a line as we thought it would be. Go shopping maybe. Then I'll just simply say something like one and says go shopping. That's perfect. If I want to remove it, I can remove it. If I want to add it, I can add more stuff up here. If I want to remove it, I can also do that. So that is it for today. If you liked the video, put on a like. If you dislike the video, put on a dislike. And if you want to stay connected and tuned with our channel and this playlist, then make sure you hit the subscribe button right now. And obviously don't forget to share this channel and this playlist with more Python enthusiasts like yourself. So see you in the next one.